Hello, online crew, and welcome to today's live where I am back on my normal. Hang on, I'm going to get rid of those dings. Back on my normal routine. I'm back on live on Instagram, on YouTube, on my business page, and in my social media group this week. If you missed that I wasn't live last week, I wasn't live everywhere. I was only live in my social media group, delivering all week last week the Attract Prospects with Freebies boot camp. Thank you so much to everybody that attended that boot camp. The feedback has been absolutely amazing. So those that attended, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a lot out of it. I hope you've now learned how to get people to raise their hand from social media with the freebies that you provide. It's just a really cool attraction marketing way to get people to raise their hand from social media. So for those of you that went through that training, congratulations. What we're here to talk about today is if you're in a rut, you absolutely need to listen to this live. So I'll get to that content in a second. I just want to remind those of you that attended the boot camp that the special deals to offer the coaching community are only live for about another hour. So Instagram, you're going to have to bear with me, and YouTube, because you can't see me sharing my screen. But I just want to jump those of you that are watching on Facebook, either my business page or my free group. I'm just screen sharing at the moment, guys. So if you want to see what these guys are looking at, you need to go over to Facebook. But just the special opportunity to join us in the coaching community, where you can get a complete training roadmap for social selling success, content, planning, all the things, reels, stories, curiosity posts, recruiting, prospecting, all the things is in the roadmap. And you'll get access to every boot camp I've ever done: Attract Prospects, Content Creation Boot Camp, Lead Generation Boot Camp, Personal Branding Boot Camp, 21-Day Reels Challenge. Look at it. It just goes on. Every week, I provide our coaching community with an engagement post and a content creation idea for your socials. There is over 100 of them already. If you decided to do 2 a week, you would have a year's worth of engagement posts and content creation ideas for your socials. Like, it just goes on and on and on and on. This is practical social media training for you to build your business online, and it is next to nothing. So you can get access for $1 for a 14-day trial for all of this, or you can get discounted annual membership. All the details are either in the comments section or the description of the live that you're watching. If you're on Instagram or YouTube and you want the details, just put freebie details down below, and I will personally message you those details. Okay, if you're watching on Facebook, you can see, look at all this training that you get access to. Even under this one called weekly live and pre-recorded trainings, just from that heading, look at all of this. There's 76 trainings behind just that one graphic. ChatGTP, how do you use it? How do you create, content from it? How do you succeed in network marketing? How do you create 30 pieces of content from one topic? How do you set your goals? How do you create reels and stories, curiosity? Like, it goes on and on and on and on and on. It is just, you'll never find somebody on social media that gives as much as I do for next to nothing. My mentors keep telling me to stop doing that. Okay. So I'm just going to come back. I go. There, I'm back. Okay, I'm back now. Instagram as well. Whatever you need, real stories, curiosity posts, how to recruit on social media, it's all there, guys. So if you need those details, it's only available for another hour for you to get those special offers. So just reach out to me if you don't know where to find the information, but you got to do it within the next hour. Okay. So who's here watching live with me? Hello, Cherie. Hello, Beth. Beth M. Hello, Chrissy. How are you? These trainings are absolutely amazing. So much value you can't get from anywhere else. Thank you. I appreciate that beautiful comment there. And from a Facebook user, thank you for all the training. Thank you. And to those on Instagram, great to see you guys as well. So let's get on to what's just quickly This week's going to look a little bit different because I'm going away again. I'm hopping on a plane I've got to leave here at about 5 a.m. Thursday morning, my time. I'm going to another conference. So for those of you that are aware that I've just been to America recently for a conference, that same conference is here in Australia this week. So I'm shooting off to that. But there's a couple of things later this week. So the live Q&A Zoom calls for those in the coaching community, they're tomorrow, whether you're in US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK, Germany, wherever, they're all tomorrow. I'm doing 2. So 1 in the morning, 1 at night in my time. So make sure you join us for the live Q&A Zoom calls. We've also got Clubhouse tomorrow where we're talking about how do you get organized and consistent on social media. But I'm still going live while I'm away. There's a couple of things I want to talk to you guys about. One of those is Facebook groups. So you want to tune into that. And the other one is, I don't know if you've heard, but Facebook has brought out a new option to verify your accounts to have extra protection, but they're going to make us pay. And it's only for individuals and not businesses and whatever. And so I'm exploring it a little bit. Zuckerberg's just come out and announced it. It is important for you to know about it and to consider it. But I want to talk to you about that later in the week as well. So my lives later in the week will be a little bit more spontaneous because I'm going to have to go live around the conference, okay? But keep out for my lives and catch the replay if you don't catch me live, okay? So are any of you, onto the topic of today, are any of you in a position where you keep creating the same results that are not that positive, whether it's in your personal life or business? So the things aren't really growing in your business. The same things are happening, or maybe you've even changed companies and the same things happening in your business, or you've got the same things happening in your personal life. Like, it might be that you're still not as healthy as you want to. You still may be overweight. You still may be underweight. You're still not eating healthy enough. You've got the same patterns and you're in a little bit of a rut with something in your life. If that's you, I want to chat to you guys because this is very common in business, in our industry. A lot of people get in a rut. They don't have results and they continue to not have results because, of a certain thing, which I want to sort of share with you now. What we need to realize from life, and this is important to open your eyes and ears to, because if you don't, you're going to stay in a rut forever. Okay? Life, if you're in a rut with something or there's something happening in your life and it's like, how did I get here again? How am I having the same results over and over again, which are not what you want? Like, why am I still in this pattern of behavior and it's not necessarily positive for you? Okay? Life is full of lessons and you're not learning, is what I'm going to say. Now, let me explain that. Like, don't brush that off lightly. I want to explain that. Life in general, business, personal life, health, all of it, life is always teaching us lessons. If you're not learning from those lessons will get louder and louder and louder, and the biggest lessons in life are the noisiest when something goes wrong. Point in case, have you ever, let's just take health for a minute, have you ever pushed and pushed and pushed, or that you're tired and you're not resting and you're not looking after yourself and something then has happened? Have you ever been in a job or something and you've been unhappy and happy and happy and then something's happened? Have you ever been in a relationship where you've hung in there and then something dramatic has happened? Life is full of lessons and they're basically warnings. They're lessons. If you don't learn from those lessons and you don't pivot and you change, the discomfort and the friction that comes from those lessons are going to get louder and more uncomfortable, and there's something potentially, if you're really not listening, potentially something dramatic can happen. Are you getting the concept of it? It's like people's health. If you don't, you're on a pattern, you're pushing, and then something happens and you end up in hospital or you end up really unhealthy, or then, something stops you in your tracks. You're in a relationship, you're not dealing with the conflict, you're not dealing with the issues, and then suddenly there's a major issue in a relationship. That could be man and wife, it could be friend and friend, it could be anything. There's something unspoken that's not being said, and then suddenly it all blows up. Or you've got a conflict with somebody at work or in your business or something, like you tolerate, nobody's communicating with each other, and then something sort of blows up. Like, if you had things in your life where you've kind of tried to push it down, you've tried to ignore, and then something, dramatic has happened, or you've found yourself in a really unhealthy position. You've found yourself pretty much broke. There's not much money in the bank account. There's more bills coming in every month than there's money coming in. There's patterns of things, and it's not just in the last month or two. It's the last 6 months, it's the last year, it's the last 18 months, it's the last 2 years. If there's patterns that are sliding, you are not listening to life's lessons, and those lessons are going to get louder, and they're going to be more disruptive until something happens. You find yourself absolutely broke. Or you find yourself in a relationship that, something awful happens. Or you find something that in your health, something awful happens. Okay? So if you're in a rut, if things are continuing and you know it, you're not listening to life's lessons. Life is full of lessons. When you hear it, you need to pivot and change. When you're not hearing it and you're full of excuses, so, I couldn't because of this, or I don't have time to prepare healthy food. I don't have time to exercise. I don't have time for my business. Whatever the excuses that you tell yourself, or, it's somebody else's fault, or it's their influence, or I'm worried about them, or they've done this, or I'm looking after them all the time that I don't have time for me, and whatever excuses you tell yourself, you're not listening to life lessons for you. You might be looking after everybody else. You might be attending to whatever else everybody needs you from, but you're not getting the best out of life for you. And those conflicts and those disruptions and that noise is just going to get louder and louder and louder the more that you don't attend to it. Does this make sense? You choose to hear and see and deal with life's lessons. And if you don't, they just get worse. You just get unhealthier. You just get broker, for lack of a better word. Your business just gets worse. You get more into debt. You just invest on top of invest on top of invest in training and learning and whatever, but you're not doing the work. You're not actually putting into action what you're learning. That'll get louder. You'll probably spend more money on more training because you think that's going to be the answer. It won't be. You'll just get yourself more into debt trying to find an answer that's not there. It's you that's not doing the work. It's you that's not pulling your finger out. It's you that's not looking after you. It's you that's not focused. It's you that's not disciplined. You're not listening to the patterns that are happening in your life. Is this making sense? I share this with you because I talk to so many people and I get so frustrated because in this industry, I often want more for the people that I mentor and the people in my network marketing team and the people that I work with. I want it for them. They want it by words, but they don't do the actions that they need to take to become the person they need to be deserving of an amazing business. And if that's you, if you've got the same pattern behavior, you've got to open your eyes to the lesson that you need to be taught. And this is something I share often about the most things that I've learned to help myself over the last few years with all the mentorship. And I've spent a crap load of money on mentorship. If I knew everything I needed to know, then I'd already be, multiple millionaire. If you're not already where you want to be, there's something you've not learnt yet. You have to go and get mentors and do training and stuff like that. If you knew it all, it amazes me, everybody that wants something for free and they won't put a penny in their pocket, even $1 for my coaching community. They won't even commit to that, but because they think they know it all or they think they can learn by free stuff. You can't. Nobody gets an education in any profession without learning in some type. Either you go and learn a trade, or you go and get a certificate, or you go and get a degree. How many of you have gone for higher education and gone to a university or a college or something like that to learn the skill of what you've done for a living or do for a living now, those kind of things? And yet when it comes to entrepreneurship, people don't want to put their hand in the pocket. A lot of people don't, but entrepreneurship doesn't come naturally to most of us. You have to learn the skills, especially when we come on social media. So that's a business focus, yes. But what I'm concentrating here, like life, your health, your business, if you know you're a little bit stuck on something, maybe you're stuck in a relationship, maybe you're stuck in a job, maybe you're stuck in your business, maybe you're stuck not doing the work, maybe you're stuck and you kind of make excuses and you're not actually doing the do, you're not learning life's lessons. Life is throwing you stuff at you and you're just like, what's going on here? You're not listening. So so back to the couple of things that have served me very, very well is that even when things go wrong and I don't understand them, or it's not a direct result of my actions, maybe it's something that I'm working with and they've done something that's affected what I do and whatever. So not directly maybe something I've done, but it's affected me in some way, so I don't have a lot of control. I still ask, what's the lesson I meant to learn from this? Good or bad? What's the lesson I meant to learn from? How many of you have heard that from me before? What's the lesson I meant to learn from this? If I have an argument with my kids or my husband or, something like a disagreement or something like that, and I'll sit back and go, you didn't handle that well. What's the lesson I meant to learn from this? Life is throwing lessons at you every single day. When you can learn to evaluate, this is the other thing, when you can learn to evaluate and pivot really, really quickly, this is when you become a better entrepreneur, a better wife, a better husband, a better friend, better for yourself and your health in your life and everything else that you want to achieve. What's the lesson I meant to learn from this? So when you're stuck in a rut, don't just go, woe is me, and stay there for months and years. You need to look yourself in the mirror and go, what am I meant to learn from this and how do I pivot? What am I meant to learn from this and how do I pivot? Get it? What am I meant to learn from this and how do I pivot? There is no excuses for staying in a rut in your health, in your relationships, in your life, in your business. You're just not hearing what life is putting in front of you. You're oblivious. Listen to life's lessons because there's lessons in front of you every single day. Every single day. You can't make my life better. I can't make your life better. The only one that can put more money in my bank account is me. The only one that can make me healthier than I am now, or lighter, or lose weight, or whatever my goals are, is me. Like self-responsibility. So if you're stuck in a rut in any way, you're not increasing in your business, and really evaluate, what's the lesson I meant to learn from this? My business isn't growing. What's the lesson I need to learn from this? And that could be real with yourself about how you're not taking the action. Or maybe you're taking the wrong actions and you need some help from a mentor to go, why are you concentrating on that when you haven't even done that? That's why I have a roadmap in the coaching community. Why are you concentrating on doing that when you haven't even established your brand yet? Okay? I'm going to shut up now. What are your thoughts? Okay? I want to see some of your comments here. That's basically it, Christina. Pull your finger out. I can see you again through StreamYard. Makes so much sense. You just described my entire life. Okay, Chrissy. So you need to stop and evaluate. What's the lesson I meant to learn from this? What's the lesson I meant to learn from this? It's the best thing. And I shared with you only something last week here. There was something, I was doing something with the kids in the family and I was tired. I think I just got back from overseas and I was snapping at them. And it's just like, man, this is all me. Like, pull yourself out of it. And I did. But it's only when you're evaluating yourself and you pivot really quickly that you get to change the outcomes. If you're not changing your outcomes and you're not looking for solutions and you're not looking for the lessons, you're going to stay in the same place. And if that's not where you want to be right now, you've got to be asking yourself, what am I meant to learn from this? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? How do I need to pivot? Really, really important. If you want to have a better life, you have to be thinking about that all the time. What's the lesson I'm meant to learn from this? What's the lesson I'm meant to learn from this? How do I pivot? Beth, the best thing I ever did was invest in myself because I am worth it. Exactly. Coaching community and VIP mentorship, my health, to name a few, is of the most valuable things ever. Absolutely. Jane, definitely need to step up the actions. Great evaluation, Jane. So straight away, when we actually go into evaluation, we see things that we're blinded to when we don't evaluate. So you constantly want to be evaluating, what do I need to do? What do I need to change? What's the lesson I need to learn from this? I'm not doing enough. I'm stuck in training and I'm not doing. I don't really know. Like some of you, you don't know where you're meant to be focusing on social media. You're just learning it all. You're throwing crap up against a wall. You've got a few posts going out here, a few reels going out there, a few stories out there, but you've got no focus, no intention, no brand, and you're just flying by the seat of your pants. That's a question to ask yourself. Well, it's not really working what I'm doing. What do I need to learn from this? I need some help, might be your answer. I need some direction. I need a mentor. I need some focus. I need to ask some questions of somebody who's already doing the do and getting some results. Okay, Christina, free stuff demonstrates what you get when you pay. It's a lure. You have to invest in a mentor. Absolutely. Even my mentors, multiple $1 million mentors, invest in mentors. You should always have somebody in your corner to talk to kick you up the bum when you don't want to be kicked up the bum. But, with love. I do that with my VIPs all the time. With love, kick them up the behind when I see they're not doing what they need to do. 4, topic on point. It was me in the 90s. I still have to be aware to avoid slipping. Who's more important, me or everybody else? And this is the thing, when you really get into it, guys, most of us are worried about what other people think. And that's what stops you on social media. It's what stops you, some of you, sharing in your stories or writing a curiosity post on social media or doing some things because you're worried about what other people think. Like, stop and ask yourself, what's the lesson in that? You're just stopping yourself from building your business because you're worried about what other people think. And something I say all the time in my video challenges, people aren't thinking about you as much as you think they are thinking about you, because they're thinking about their life and everything that they're doing and people thinking about them. So you spend all this time holding yourself back in this industry, worrying about what other people think of you, and people aren't really giving you that much energy, guys. So why are you stopping yourself doing things you know you need to do when people aren't really thinking about you as much as you think they're thinking about you? Okay? Yes, Christina, there's always a lesson. What's the lesson in this? Good or bad? And, as I said before, something might happen. It might not even be something I've done, but I'll get an email that's not, or somebody says something, or, it's external to me and I can't control it, but there's still a lesson in it on how I handle it. That's life. You may not be able to control everybody around you, people, influences, and stuff like that, but you can absolutely control how you handle it. And trust me, there are people that are worse off than you. When you feel, it's all too much, I can't cope, social media is the enemy, it's too much, and whatever. It's only too much because you think it's too much. You can do anything that you want to. Okay? Correct the attitude and pivot. Listen to life's lessons. Absolutely. Facebook you. Thank you. I needed this. I'm glad you needed this, whoever that was. Thanks. What I need to learn from this. Absolutely. Chrissy, I like to know how you knew I needed to hear this today. That's my job. This video at the beginning of the week is usually, apart from last week when I was doing the boot camp, it's about something to help you guys think, something to help you be a better version of yourself, because it's you that's going to make yourself, build a valuable business, put more money in your bank account, be the healthiest version of yourself. It's no one else. So this video that I do every week at the beginning of every week is sometimes the most important video for you to listen to and take something from. And actually really take something from, not just listen to it and go, oh, yeah, she's right. That makes a lot of sense. Really take something on. And if it's nothing else from this video, just write down, what do I need to learn from this? And how do I pivot? What do I need to learn from this? And how do I pivot? Ask yourself that every day when things go right or wrong. Even when things go right, what do I need to learn from this? I'm awesome. Maybe you've done something that's awesome, or that really worked. I need to continue more of that because I did that and that actually worked. So, what I'm learning from this is that is a really good thing for me to continue on. And then on the flip side of that, things that aren't working, what do you need to learn from that? You're focusing on the wrong things, all that kind of stuff. There are always lessons to be learned. That is correct. Melvet, not doing enough. Okay. Spaghetti thrown against the wall and hoping it sticks. That's right, Beth. Christina, yes, she kicks up the bum. I do it nicely though, with love. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I've harped on this enough, but please just take from this, write it down, put it on a sticky note, put it in the mirror in your bathroom, put it on your phone, put it where you can see it. What do I need to learn from this? Ask yourself that every day, multiple times a day, especially when something hasn't gone quite right, or you've gone from the chocolate instead of eating the vegetables, or, whatever it is, or you didn't exercise and you said you would. You said, I'm going to exercise tomorrow, and you didn't. What do I need to learn from that? You're not focused. You're not disciplined. You're not life is full of lessons. And just remember the consequence. If you ignore life's lessons and you keep making excuses for things, it's going to get louder and louder and louder until something breaks. Could be health, could be a relationship, could be your weight, your health. Life's lessons will just continue to get louder and louder and louder and louder until you're really in a position where you don't want to be and something serious happens. Don't let it get to that point. Listen to life's lessons and take control and pivot, okay? I just want the best for you, and that's why I talk about these videos, just to try to give you something to help you be a better version of yourself, okay? So tomorrow, that's enough from me. Tomorrow we're on Clubhouse talking about consistency and habits to do what you need to do in your businesses. So listen to that. And then the couple of days after that, I will be live, but just not at my normal time. But try to catch that or catch the replay, because I do want to talk to you guys about Facebook groups, about some things about groups that I think you need to know, and also about Zuckerberg's announcement that, we're going to give you extra protection and let you verify your accounts, but we're going to charge you for it. So is that something you want to look into or not? So let's have a discussion about that later in the week as well. So, and I'll share photos and all that kind of good stuff of what I'm doing. I'm actually going interstate in Australia, so I'll share lots of photos of that as well. So thanks for being here live or catching the replay with me today. Don't forget, there's only about 30 minutes left of the special offer to join the coaching community, so you need to act fast. Send me a message if you're confused, whatever, but you need to do it within the next 30 minutes, okay? I'll see you on Clubhouse tomorrow, guys. Bye.